Oh, hi, I didn't see you there. I was just blocking out the appropriation. How you doing, Uncle Mark? Hi. Welcome, have a seat here. These are Marc Jacobs glasses, by the way. Okay, look, if you're new here, hi, welcome. I am so happy you joined us. My name is Jackie Aina, and I don't think I've ever done a video like this on my channel ever before. And I don't plan on making this a regular thing. In case you've been living under a rock or you just don't really read up on social media a lot, a designer by the name of Marc Jacobs, who also owns a makeup line that happens to be one of my favorites, so I'm definitely feeling some type of way, got into a lot of heat this year at his New York Fashion Week show yesterday, or sometime this week, because he used models that had what looked like, you know, like faux dreads, faux locks, instead of taking that as the opportunity to bring like cultural awareness on where locks come from and the beauty of like Afro-Caribbean influence in that. He used like all white models except for like two black people. That was his quote, two black people. Pictures had surfaced on his Instagram and he had been like Insta-snap storying all of the behind the scenes, and Kendall Jenner was walking the show. I think, what's the old blonde girl name? I can't remember. Hadid, Gigi Hadid was also on the show. So hey, get the point. I don't blame them. I don't necessarily blame them. In response to all of the draggery that was taking place on Instagram, Marc responded by saying, "And all who cry cultural appropriation," as if all of a sudden it doesn't exist because he put it in quotations. "And all who cry cultural appropriation or whatever nonsense about any race or skin color wearing their hair in any particular style or manner. Funny how you don't criticize women of color for straightening their hair." What? People in America, Marc and anyone else who is listening, are literally told your hair texture is ugly, your hair texture looks dirty, unclean, unkempt, professional. There's not even room for natural hair still in the workplace environment. Don't believe it? Ask any black girl with natural hair who has a corporate job. Ask any girl like myself who's ever been in the military what they're supposed to do with their hair in order to be accepted in advance. Only in this country will people tell you you need to conform and you need to basically look normal, then turn around and take a style that is natural to your culture, call it a trend, and then after you've conformed to what they told you to do, they turn around and call you a hypocrite and an appropriator. The foolery. Like, do you see how? So it's just in my head. So I'm just tripping, right? Like, so all of the millions of people are just tripping, right? We're all just overreacting. I mean, let me wind it back, just for people who don't understand how assimilation works. Okay, so assimilation is when you get thrown into a culture that you're not familiar with, and they're kind of like, yeah, you need to like fit in with us and be like us, so you need to change what you've got going on, okay? When a person of color, in this case, I'm speaking on myself as a black woman, enters a white space. And by the way, guys, we have to get over the barrier of let's just ignore race, man. I'm gonna say the words black and white, and if you don't like hearing the words black and white, you just click out this video. When people of color, especially black people, enter white workspaces, or they're the minority in workspaces, usually you're forced to conform to what everyone else is doing. I have a friend who sits at an office desk literally scared that she can't get promoted because she feels like if she shows up with her natural hair to work one day, that she won't have a job anymore. Do you guys think that do you guys really think that we make this stuff up? Like, it's literally a real issue. Marc, you said black women straighten their hair and that's considered cultural appropriation. Can you please tell me what culture straight hair belongs to? Because you do know that black women can be born with straight hair, right? You do know that there are people of color in Asia, for example, that are born with straight hair. So whose culture is that supposed to be appropriate? Right, because straight hair is not tied to one particular culture. When you take something, because that's literally what it is, borrowing or inspo, which honestly, I saw the show. I thought the styles themselves were beautiful, creative. I'm an artist. I can see it on that way. But why couldn't you just throw some black people in there? Why couldn't you just throw some black people in there? And then you have to also understand, like, people are not just upset that you borrow this culture, you borrow this hairstyle, you borrow this inspiration, but you, instead of taking that as an opportunity to say, I was really inspired by Afro-Caribbean culture. I was really inspired by, you know, curly ethnic hair types. You said, I respect and I'm inspired by people and how they look. I don't see color or race. I see people. I'm sorry to read that so many people are so narrow-minded. Love is the answer. Love is the answer, and like, how is that relevant to anything? No, stop. Appreciation of all and inspiration from anywhere is a beautiful thing. Think about it. I know, but you know what's also a beautiful thing? It's also a beautiful thing when you embrace the black woman who has natural locks in her hair. Instead of taking that inspo, putting it on people of a different race, and then saying, that's what's beautiful. Here's the thing though, some may not agree with me, some may agree with me. I'm not like triggered when I see someone who is not of color wearing locks. It just really just doesn't like faze me. My issue with the entire show, Mark, is what he could have done is taken that platform that he has, that voice that he has, and use it as an opportunity to say, like, I was inspired by this culture. I'm more so upset in the way that he responded. I really don't feel like the people that were expressing why this was offensive were pulling that stuff out of their, you know what, like, people are rightfully angry, and he responded by basically saying,
no, you're tripping, boo, and I'm sorry that you're not appreciative of different cultures.
How can you blatantly not get it? Like, people are explaining it to you. Of course, everybody's gonna have a more aggressive approach, and I get that, but that's kind of like what you sign up for, being a person of influence, being a designer. The runway is the place for controversy. The runway is the place for political statements, taking a stand. What you need to do is take a page out of Zach Posen, because he apparently saw the value in being racially inclusive in his show, and he didn't do so in a way where he was like, oh, I'm the first. He just did it, you know, and it was just appreciative, and people felt like, wow, it's nice to be included. We all know that the fashion and beauty industry, of all places, is the one place where it's not exactly the most inclusive. So for you to say to someone, I don't see color, yeah, I'm looking at your runway show and I don't see color either. So apparently you really are colorblind. Cultural appropriation is literally saying, it looks good on me, but it don't look good on you, boo-boo. What looks ghetto on me should not just look ghetto because I'm a black woman. It should look ghetto on everyone if that's the case. Okay, we can't pick and choose when something's popping, all right? And then in this case, it's even worse because he's making money off of it. Ultimately, I think the solution could have been if Mark had took that as an opportunity to say, I was inspired by this, I was inspired by African culture, I was inspired by Caribbean culture, and he made them inclusive on his show. I think it would have been the perfect time. There are people in South Africa literally fighting for the right to wear those hairstyles you just took and made a trend. And they can't because they're told it's unprofessional and it's unkempt. The receipts are out there. Like, we cannot keep doing stupid stuff like this. It's irresponsible. I want to be able to say that I liked the show. I enjoyed it. It was beautiful. I got the idea of it. I get it. I see it, but I don't, at the same time, I don't see it. I'm not here to tell people to denounce this brand. I'm not here to tell people to boycott this brand. People are grown. People are free thinking. You have the right to an opinion just like I do. And I'm not here to ever tell you we're boycotting this brand. You make that decision for your own as a free thinking human being. I'm just expressing an opinion that I'm really passionate about. I started this channel because I wanted black women to feel beautiful, and then it just kind of like grew into this community of like unrecognized people, not just black women. I really don't even feel like this topic would be as controversial as it is if this wasn't the second time that he was accused of doing something like this, because if you guys don't remember, he was the one who used the mini buns on one of his runway shows in the past, which were basically bantu knots. You could have just given Africa credit. Nobody wants to give Africa credit. Did we not forget not too long ago, people were ripping Zendaya to shreds for wearing locks on the red carpet? People said she smelled. People said she looked like she didn't shower. People said she looked like she smelled like weed. But when Marc Jacobs does it, brilliant. Why do you try to insult the intelligence of millions of intelligent Americans in this country? Why? Please don't use this as an opportunity to guilt trip me or anyone else. For those of us who actually buy from this brand, now's not the time. Like, I buy from a lot of different brands. This is just one of them. By the way, this full face is Marc Jacobs, except for the shadows on the lips. I'm just letting you know, people of color do check for your brand. You might not want to slap them in the face while they're doing that. Got it, Marc? Got it. And anybody else who wants to try it in 2016? Anyway, got a blast. Hey, but don't do this again though.